everyone. So we are going to discuss about the Commissioner of Building or COB, which comes after we have discussed the the three management bodies, the developer, GMB, and also MC. When I keep on mentioning about COB, who is who is an officer or a number of officers located at the local authority who is in charge of administering the SMA. They have to ensure that the strata schemes within their local authority area are properly managed, managed and maintained. Now, introduction about who or what the Commissioner of Buildings is. Commissioner of Buildings was first established under BCPA, the BCPA 2007. The first time that COB appeared. But now, COB is the statutory authority appointed under the provisions of SMA 2013. So COB was first established under BCPA. But then we learned about the problems with BCPA, whereby we said that BCPA was had a number of weaknesses, so BCPA had to be repealed. And all the provisions regarding Commissioner of Buildings has been transferred into SMA, and together with some improvements on the management and maintenance of strata schemes. The COB is given the responsibility of administrating and overseeing the maintenance and management of all types of strata buildings in compliance with SMA provisions. So whatever the actions of the COB or the decisions they make, they have to refer back to SMA. All the powers are given by SMA. Their duties, their obligations are also outlined in SMA itself. So they cannot act beyond the scope of power given by the SMA. So that's why we are going to learn about the duties and the powers of the COB in this particular lecture. COB is a state post, whereby they are appointed by the state authority, Lantikan Negeri. So the state all local authorities are under the state authority. So the ones appointing the COB, who is located at the local authority, is the state authority. The lantikan must come. The appointment must come from the state authority. How? So how does the state authority make the appointment of the COB? The lantikan, the appointment is made through Gazette, through the Gazette, an announcement in the Warta Kerajaan Negeri. Currently, the appointment of COB is under Section 4 of SMA, which is under Section 4, the state authority may appoint an officer in respect of a local authority, known as COBs, deputy COBs, and any other officers at the local authority for the purpose of administering and carrying out SMA provisions. Now, the SMA provisions have to be read together with the SM Regulations 2015. If you look at the it's mirror anyway. I hope you can read this. The title, the mirror title. I read for you. Now it says here, Strata Management Act 2013 and regulations. Regulations. So the regulation here that is applicable to the COB is the Strata Management Regulations 2015, which is contained inside the inside the Act itself. In practice, the Datuk Bandar or the Yang Dipertua, Dipertua Majlis, the mayor, the English equivalent is the mayor of each local council, is appointed as its COB chairman. So COB is a department. So that resolves the question that we have been asking ourselves: what is COB? Is it a person? Is it a number of persons? It's a department. But within the department, there's an officer, or a number of officers, who undertakes the duties of COB. The appointment is made by notification in the Gazette, as I mentioned just now. The roles. Now we come to the roles and responsibilities of COB. There are 12. 12 roles and responsibilities. Number one is to keep records of strata management within its area. Records of strata management within the local authority area, comprising documents such as resolutions. We have learned about the different types of resolutions: normal resolution, special resolution, comprehensive resolution, and the other one. Anyway, the resolutions that are made or that are passed in the general meeting, be it AGM or EGM, okay, these resolutions have to be filed to the COB, and the COB will keep the resolutions. The minutes of the GM, of the AGM or the EGM, okay, minute of the meetings, after the meeting, it must be submitted. Accounts, SOP, SOP stands for Schedule of Parcels, and other records file the developer and management bodies. Now, the developer, for instance, under Section 6 of SMA, developers of proposed strata scheme must file the SOP to the COB before selling any parcel. Okay. Now, this requirement is also a condition under the condition set by the Ministry of Housing and Local Government for any developers who intend to construct or develop strata housing, okay, whereby the license and their advertising permit, okay, the conditions, one of which is they must show or give the certificate of acceptance of SOP to COB to the developers. They file the SOP to the COB. COB will give to them a certificate of receipt lah kiranya of the SOP, and then that particular certificate must be shown or must be attached together with the application for license, developer's license, and also advertising permit. So that comes under HDA, Housing Development Act. Okay, a condition set by the Ministry of Housing and Local Government. Under Section 8, Sub 1 of SMA, the developer must determine the allocated share units for each parcel according to the formula in the first schedule SMA. We have learned this before, right? Regarding the determination of share units, how the share units are calculated using the formula given or outlined in the first schedule SMA. We have learned that before. So the calculation of the unit shares, share units, okay, what you call outline or listed in a SIFU, in the sijil, sijil formula unit share, which must be filed to the COB. And then regarding management bodies, okay, management bodies, they keep all the documents that I mentioned here, resolutions, minutes. So we can see actually I have prepared a table. Okay, next slide. Say the documents to be submitted to the COB. Okay, you can see that we have documents, the time frame, and also section under SMA that governs the submission of the document. So document number 1 is the SOP, the schedule of parcels and amended schedule of parcels. Okay, time frame is submitted after handing over by the developer to the GMB. Okay, and this comes under Section 15 Sub 3 Sub D of SMA. Okay, so once the developer has handed over the management, okay, of the strata scheme to the GMB, which is what you must remember by now. So from the vacant possession, they have 12 months within the 12 months period of the developer's management period. Okay, the schedule of parcels, within 12 months, the first AGM of the GMB must be convened, okay, then hand over. So after the handover process, the SOP must be submitted to the COB. Okay, so this is according to Section 15 Sub 3 Sub D. Okay. Documents pertaining to the GM, the general meeting. So the GM can comprise either annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting, AGM or EGM. Okay, so there are 3 documents here. The first one is the certified true copy of the audited accounts and auditor's report. Normally, presented during the AGM, which must be held before 31st March of every year, if I am not mistaken. Okay, so must be held. But you know, COVID situation, so this may have affected some of the strata schemes. Okay, you cannot hold the AGM. Anyway, certified true copy of the audited accounts and auditor's report of the accounts. Okay, The next one is certified true copy of the minutes of the AGM itself. And finally, the certified true copy of resolution. Any resolutions passed during the general meeting, be it annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. So any kind of resolution, be it the special resolution, normal resolution, comprehensive resolution. So all these must be submitted within 28 days of the GM, okay, as per second schedule of SMA, section 7 sub 8 SMA. Then we have certified true copy of additional bylaws or amendment to current bylaws. Okay, so in SMA, they have added the provision for bylaws, okay, for strata schemes. But some strata schemes, they need special or additional bylaws, okay, bylaws, so they can at the general meeting, the MC can agree, okay, on additional bylaws, or the MC management corporation, all the owners, okay, then they can agree to amend the current bylaws as long as the amendment, okay, as long as the additional bylaws are in line with the existing bylaws under SMA. Okay, they cannot contravene. There are two prohibitions prohibitions or larangan lah, tak boleh buat. You cannot do this. You cannot declare these two items as bylaws. The first one, any restrictions on dealings cannot be a bylaw. Okay, anything that restrict the selling of parcels, anything that restricts the leasing of parcels cannot be a bylaw. The other one is regarding alteration of easements. The easements agreement are done under STA, so cannot do that. You cannot pass a bylaw that revokes or that amends the easement. Okay, so easement and also dealing cannot be part of bylaws. That is according to SMA. Now, bylaws, okay, bylaws, additional bylaws or amendments to current bylaws must be submitted within 14 days of the general meeting. Now, like I said before, the bylaws must be passed by the management corporation, not the management committee. Management corporation comprises the whole or all the owners. So the owners must sit down together in a general meeting and they must agree to the additional or amendment to amend the current bylaws. This is according to section 32 sub 6. Okay, and we have here any management agreement. Any management agreement, meaning agreement to appoint, so, for instance, to appoint managing agents, for instance, by the GMB or the MC. Okay, so any management agreements must within 30 days from the date of agreement be filed or be submitted to the Commissioner of Building. The Commissioner of Building wants to know who is the managing agent, okay, who is undertaking the management and maintenance of any particular strata scheme. So this is under Regulation 32 sub 4 of the Strata Management Regulation 2015. Okay. The second role responsibilities to grant an extension of developers management period under section 7 sub 2. Okay. So developers management period here refers to, okay, vacant possession without strata title. Okay. Okay, starts from the date of vacant possession without strata title, okay, ends 1 month after the establishment of the GMB. So GMB must be established within this 12 months period. Okay, 12 months period. Okay, call for first AGM of GMB. Okay, once the first AGM of GMB is convene, okay, GMB is established, then hand over within 1 month. So the whole period the whole period of the developers management period may be extended. An application can be made, okay, to the COB to extend this developers management period. Now, I would like to distinguish between developers management period and also preliminary management period. These are all in your lecture notes, but I just would like to highlight again. Okay, developers management period is when, like I say, it's in this particular diagram. It shows here vacant possession without strata title. Okay, the book of register, the strata registers book has not been opened yet. No issuance of strata title yet. So vacant possession, serah kunci without strata title. Okay, the ball starts rolling. Okay, the period there belongs to the developer to manage. Okay, then within 12 months, the first AGM, then handover. So before the handover to the JMB is the developer's management period. However, the preliminary management period, okay, involves vacant possession being delivered together with strata titles. This is under the new scheme of development, whereby they try to ensure that strata titles is given together with the vacant possession. Therefore, the application for building subdivision is made super early. It's at the super early at the superstructure stage. Okay, not wait until the whole building has been completed. Okay, so in that particular case, when vacant possession is delivered together with strata titles, as soon as the titles are issued to at least 25% aggregate share units, the MC is formed and MC's management period begins. Okay, so like what we mentioned before this, the magic number is 25%. The third one is to ensure the establishment of a JMB. Okay, under section 18 sub 5 and 19 sub 2 of SMA, while the developer has the responsibility to convene the first AGM of the JMB, the COB has a duty to monitor the proceedings of the AGM. How an officer from the COB's office to an officer of COB can go and sit during the first AGM of the JMB. Okay, first AGM of the JMB, whereby the meeting is called by the developer. Okay, then the developers, representatives, and the owners who already have received their strata titles, they sit down in the hall or whatever, the place, the venue. Okay, then the officer from the COB will sit down together and he will monitor. He will see if a JMB is formed or not. Okay, sorry, not JMB. Yeah, JMB first, then the JMC, the Joint Management Committee tu, that represents the JMB kan. The JMC undertakes the operation, the day-to-day management of the strata scheme kan. Now, without the JMB, there won't be a JMC. So if the JMB fail to be established that day, JMC does not exist kan. So who undertakes the management? The developer's management period has ended. Developers management period has ended. Once they have convened the first AGM, they are only given 1 month kan after that. So the COB officer must ensure that there is a JMB on that day, okay, together with a JMC as a representative of the JMBs. Okay, if that does not happen for whatever reason, maybe there's not enough people there or people refusing to be on the JMC, kan, the COB can appoint. Now, even worse, if the first AGM of the JMB fail to be organized or fail to be convened by the developer, then the COB can step up and they can convene the first AGM of the JMB under section 18 sub 5. Okay, 12 months from the date of the vacant possession. The time period is still the same. Within 12 months from the vacant possession start, okay, there must be the first AGM meeting. So if the COB feels that the developer fails to convene, fails to call for the meeting, they are being alerted to that situation, they can call for the first AGM of the GMB. Okay. This is what I mentioned before, formation of JMC appointment. If a JMC fail to be established or formed during the first AGM of the JMB, okay, the COB has another choice, which is to appoint a managing agent under section 19 sub 2. Okay. So the COB can invite, okay, can invite property consultants to come in, maybe through tender or whatever, appointment, can direct negotiation as well, okay. We don't know, I don't know actually. So I think there's two methods, tender and also direct negotiation lah. But then the responsibility, the power is given under section 19 sub 2, okay, if no GMC were appointed during the first AGM of the GMB. Issuance of GMB certificate under section 20 sub 2. Now, like I said before, any of the management bodies must have a birth certificate, kan? The GMC pun ada certificate, the GMB pun ada certificate, okay? Certificate of birth dia lah, the formation tu. So COB is in charge, or it has a duty to issue the GMB certificate under section 20 sub 2 of SMA when the newly established GMB inform and register themselves after the first AGM. Okay. The next one is to monitor the MC performance. Okay, there must be a higher authority, okay, higher authority that looks that monitors that from time to time, okay, dia see what's happening at the strata scheme, kan. Monitor MC performance. Firstly, the COB must ensure that the MC is established, okay, which is the magic number 25%. Strata titles issued. Strata titles issued after the 25%. Strata titles on at least 25% aggregate share are issued. That's the correct way to say it. Okay. Once an MC is established, the COB shall monitor the MC to ensure it performs its duties and use its powers in accordance with SMA. So if there's any complaints, can complain to the COB lah. Or if they see there's a blatant disregard of SMA. For instance, management committee adding new bylaws without passing any resolution in a general meeting. That is against SMA. So the COB can, if there's anything against the SMA or any actions against the SMA, they can step in or they can interfere and rectify the mistake or rectify the situation. The misconduct lah, the breach of law. COB is empowered to review service charge set by the MC. Okay, COB is empowered. There's a court case that says otherwise, but anyway, here it says that COB is empowered to review service charge set by the MC. Here again, this needs fine tuning lah, because there's a court case that says otherwise. Yeah, COB. Yeah. No. That case involves the MC. The MC setting service charges illegally without going through the general meeting AGM. So that is illegal. So in this case, betul, COB is empowered to review service charge set by the MC. If it's for instance, the expenses budget, okay, announced at the early of the year is not enough to cover, okay, then they can review, they can increase, or if in the case is too high, can decrease the service charge. COB may assist or order the MC, assist, menolong ataupun order mengarahkan MC to convene a meeting, okay, untuk mengadakan any AGM or EGM. COB may also review MC's decisions. Like I said just now, if there's any illegal decisions or actions done, then the COB can call and semak balik, review the decisions. So if the COB finds that the actions or decisions are against the SMA, the action or decisions can be revoked or reversed. Review and resolve disputes relevant to the management and maintenance of a strata property. So the first layer of dispute resolution, okay, is the COB. And the next layer, if the parties are not satisfied, they can go to the strata tribunal. But the COB only listens to a certain matter. The strata titles the strata management tribunal listens to certain matters of dispute. Okay, so there are scopes. There are different scopes of disputes that the COB can hear and strata management tribunal can hear. But the COB punya scope is limited, is more limited than the strata management tribunal. Now, for both, okay, the disputes must relate to the management and maintenance of strata property only. Any personal disputes will not be heard by COB and by the strata management tribunal. The complicated nature of strata schemes may lead to disagreements or disputes among stakeholders. Stakeholders may comprise owners, may comprise occupants, management bodies, okay, contractors. Okay, so since there are many stakeholders, okay, coming from different backgrounds with different interests, okay, sometimes their interests clash. Their interests may not be compatible with one another, kan? So this can lead to disagreements, and worse, can lead to disputes. COB can hear these complaints made by the strata parcel owner. So these are the scope. These are the scope of disputes that COB can hear. The first one, okay, when parcel owners are not satisfied with sum determined for the maintenance charges or contribution to sinking fund. So two types of payment here. One, the maintenance charge, the other one, contribution to sinking fund. So if there's any dissatisfaction with the sum determined, okay, the strata parcel owners can complain, okay, can make a complaint to COB. Okay, so this is provided under section 12 sub 7. When the strata parcel owners are not satisfied with the maintenance and management of the building, the quality of management and maintenance of the building and common property by the management bodies as provided under section 86 sub 1. So say the strata owners, they feel that they pay a lot, but they don't get the quality that they expect. For instance, the normal rate is say 12 cents to 20 cents per square foot. They are paying the higher end, 20 cents per square foot. Okay, but then things like rubbish collection is not satisfactory. Maybe the guards the guards keep on missing, not doing their job well. There are crimes or thefts in the strata scheme. So that shows poor services, kan, and which is not reflected by the amount that they pay in their service charge. So they may complain, make a complaint at the COB. And then the next one, not satisfied with the allocated share units as provided under Regulation 9 sub 1 strata management regulation. So if the share units, they feel that is too high or too low, so there are cases to argue for more share units, there are cases to argue for less share units. If you have a higher number of share units, then you have to pay more lah, because the service charge calculation is a certain rate times the share units, kan. But on the other side of the coin is larger share units give you a stronger voice in your votes, a stronger vote if there's any votes to be done on any resolution, so you have more power. Okay, another advantage is if there's any compensation payable to the MC, then the bigger your share units, the bigger the share of the of the money coming in to you. So that's why there's two sides of it. So if the owner is not satisfied with the allocated share units, they can make a complaint. Okay, under Regulation 9 sub 1 strata management regulation. Okay, then if the strata owners feel or they think that the AGM was not conducted in accordance with the SMA, maybe insufficient quorum tak cukup, for instance, kan, AGM was still conducted, or AGM conducted but notice was not given, or notice was given late, okay, by the management body, then the owners can lodge a complaint with the COB. COB also accepts complaints by management body. So it's not just from the, like I said before, there are multiple stakeholders on the strata scheme. So it's not just the owners who can lodge a complaint with the COB. The management also can complain to the COB if they are not satisfied. Most of the time, okay, the management bodies, what they are not satisfied with is the non-payment of service charge by the owners. So they need to get it. Now, monitoring of the maintenance account and sinking fund account. Okay, so for maintenance account and sinking the accounts lah, management accounts, I am going to do Google Form lah exercise or Google Form activity with you to make sure that you understand the types of accounts. So monitor after this. So this lecture is solely on COB, but the next one will be on accounts, management accounts. Management accounts can comprise maintenance account and also sinking fund account. So COB can monitor these management accounts. The COB can check the accounts and records of the accounts as per section 14 sub 1D and section 26 sub 3 of SMA. The COB can determine the service charges and contribution to sinking fund according to section 12 sub 7. So this is as per what I mentioned in the slide before. Determine the charges for the administration of the accounts. Okay, the accounts need to be audited, right? So the payment of the auditors, okay, may be determined by the COB. Appoint an auditor to investigate the accounts and records of accounts if necessary. If the COB, once they receive the audited account, certified through a copy of the certified of the audited account, they suspect something missing or suspect something amiss lah in the accounts, they can appoint an independent auditor to investigate the accounts and the records. The records meaning the receipts and the ledgers and things like that. Okay, so under sections 14 sub 2 and 26 sub 2. And then finally, the COB also can approve expenses. In the case that, for instance, the management committee they don't approve of some expenditure on the management and maintenance. For instance, fogging. They don't do any fogging, kan? And you have cases of dengue, malaria, whatever, kan? So the owners may ask the COB to approve for fogging to expenses, okay, on their strata scheme, okay. So the COB can bypass the MC lah, the management bodies like either the JMB or the MC. The JM, sorry, so not the JMB lah, JMB is the owners kan. JMC, the Joint Management Committee, and also the Management Committee. The COB can bypass this too. Review and approval of additional bylaws under section 32 sub 2 SMA. So I have touched on this before in the earlier slides. Says here, prior to SMA, the imposition of house rules is via the deed of mutual covenant between strata buyers or owners with the management. So deed of mutual covenant is essentially a contract between two parties lah. So in this case, the buyer or the owner with the management. Okay, there's no standard form of deed of mutual covenant. So one strata schemes bylaw may be different from another strata schemes bylaw. Okay, so that creates issues lah, a lot of issues, because some owners may expect certain things to be part of the bylaws but not included in their strata schemes bylaw and things like that. Okay, and the problem with the deed of mutual covenant, it only ties the two parties who sign the deed, Okay, there's a matter of statute of limitation, because statute, not statute, statute of limitation. That means that once a party has broken from the relationship, you cannot tie another new party with the agreement. So how do you ensure that the new owner or that new owners or new buyers will adhere or will obey the covenants? Covenants to are terms, you know, terms, covenant. Terma-terma perjanjian kan. Okay. SMA introduced bylaws that provide standardized rules and regulations for both the managing bodies and strata owner or occupants. So SMA is good. The improvement made by SMA is there's a fixed, ada satu standard set of bylaws. Okay, it's not rigid because you can add to the set of bylaws under SMA, and all the additional bylaws can be later amended or revoked. But at least there's a set of standardized rules and regulations that controls the actions of both managing bodies and strata owners or occupants. Additionally, Section 70 sub 2 SMA allows the MC to create additional bylaws under special resolutions to cater to specific situations unique to that strata scheme. Now remember what we talked about last week during the sub-MC. Okay, now the MC as a whole, for the whole of the strata scheme, they can make additional bylaws on that particular strata scheme. Okay, same with mixed development, the MC kan, which is the top tier, they can make additional bylaws for the whole of the strata scheme, whereas the sub-MC themselves can also create additional bylaws for their own component, okay? Just to cater for the specific situations or the needs of the different users. However, these additional bylaws may be inconsistent with the SMA bylaws. So the COB may set the additional bylaws aside. So there are two, like I said before, there are two things that cannot be made into bylaws. One is restriction to dealings, that cannot be a bylaw. The second one is to change or to amend easements that were created under STA. Easement of the strata scheme, cross easement, for instance, itu apa nama, hak sokongan ke apa kan. Once you remove that, no right to spot, that's it lah. The building tak ada lagi sokongan kepada bangunan sebelah. I have no right to spot from the next building. The next building can, if the next building is torn down, then habis lah. So you cannot touch two things, dealings rights and also easement. Okay, so if the additional bylaws touch on these two things, okay, the dealings and easement, the COB may set that aside. Next one is recovery of sums by attachment of movable property. Okay, the title sounds a bit daunting or a bit unfamiliar. What it means is for those owners, strata owners who don't pay the monies that they need to pay, either the service charge or the sinking fund contribution, the COB can come in and attach their movable properties and auction them off. Attach to bukan letak tau. Attach to means to put an attachment order lah. Diletakkan warrant di situ. Letakkan attachment order. Okay, dibawa keluar and then auction off to pay the debt. So recovery of sums though is under Section 35. Before SMA, the JMB or MC could only file a civil suit against owners who fail to pay maintenance and service charge. Civil suit is made in court only, kan? So you must go to court to file a civil suit. There's no other way for the JMB or MC to recover the monies owed. Now, so the money is owed to by whom? These people, okay, the strata owners who don't pay, they are known as freeloaders lah, because they live on the contributions made by other owners. The really good owners are the ones who are responsible owners, and they pay every month. So the money is paid by the responsible owners, the service charge, the sinking fund contribution, okay, paid by responsible owners, they cover for the expenses, for expenses. But so these non-payees, they are the freeloaders. Freeloaders. Now the freeloading owners may have to face criminal charges and also fines. Okay, the JMB or MC would first issue a notice for payment. Okay, so any non-payment must be the tuntutan to the claim for non-payment must be started with a claim against the non-payee or against the offending person. Okay, notice for payment, giving at least 14 days to remedy that situation. Notice apa kesalahan, what's the breach or what's the kesalahan, the offense, okay, non-payment of service charge for 3 months, for instance, or for 4 months, amounting to 800 ringgit, something like that lah. Okay, you are given 14 days to pay the 800 ringgit. Otherwise, if the owner fails to do so and is convicted, he or she will be liable to a fine of up to 5,000 ringgit with additional 50 ringgit per day until payment is made, or the additional one, the good one, imprisonment, or imprisoned for up to 3 years, or both. So this is a good provision under SMA, okay, just to give teeth lah, to give bite to this provision that can prevent non-payment of monies. I say monies, kan, supposedly there's no plural to money, kan? So, but in this case we are talking about two kinds of money. One comes from the service charge, the other one comes from the contribution of the sinking fund contribution. So I can say monies, duit. Okay. COB has the power to issue a warrant for attachment of movable properties belonging to the defaulting owner to be auctioned off. So the less severe one, another option, okay, besides fining, besides threatening them with prison sentence, or both just now, another action that can be taken by COB is the power to issue a warrant for attachment of movable properties belonging to the defaulting owners to be auctioned off. I think I have given you some examples of movable properties before, right? For instance, the furniture, the sofa, coffee table, okay? What else? Some electrical items, TV, whatever lah inside the house that can be moved and has some value. Okay? Those items can be seized, boleh diambil, seized, boleh dirampas, okay? And then can be auctioned. And then next one is the power to appoint managing agent. Okay, managing agent under section 86 of SMA. The COB is empowered to appoint managing agent if all strata owners refuse to be on the management committee. If the strata owners refuse, there seems to be a problem. It's okay. Oops. Share. Okay, power to appoint, so during the AGM, all the attendees, they fail to appoint the new management committee, or the MC fails to perform. Like I said before, the owners pay every month, but then the quality of management and maintenance is very poor. The COB can appoint a managing agent. Okay. The fees for the managing agent will be determined by the COB, and the managing agent has to deposit a performance bond, the amount of which is determined by the COB. But this bond is normally, there's a limit to it. 12 months fee or 50,000 ringgit, whichever higher. So that is normally the rule. Okay, but okay, anyway, because I found this article that says that registered valuers or registered property managers, okay, they may waive this requirement of performance bond. This bond requirement is only for non-property agents, non-registered property managers, but I'm not very sure. Okay, I have to check on that. But this is the rule now. Okay, the amount is either 12 months fee or 50,000 ringgit, whichever higher. Now, trustee. Okay, the COB can be a trustee for the common property defects account. So what is it? What is common property defects account? Under section 92 of the SMA, the COB can ask the developer to deposit a sum of not less than 0.5% of the estimated cost of construction of the development area or 50,000 ringgit, whichever is higher, to be put or to be deposited into the common property defects account. And the account is held by the COB as a trustee. Trustee is pemegang amanah. So can any pemegang amanah use the money for his own good? No, cannot. So just pegang sajalah pemegang amanah. Trustee. The COB will monitor repair works on the common property by developer within the defect liability period. Okay, defect liability period we have learned before. How many months? 18 months kan after the vacant possession, or CCC, whichever is later kan. So during that defect liability period, okay, if there's any complaints from the owners, okay, the developer must repair the common property. Okay, so if the COB will monitor that the repair works are done, okay, but if the developer fails to undertake the repairs, the COB can use the money from the common property defects account just now to undertake repairs on the common property. And the COB is empowered to instruct developer to deposit more money into the account, more and more and more, because here there's no limit here kan, whichever is higher, the 0.5% or 50,000 or whichever is higher. So that means that if the money for the repairs of the common property is not enough, yeah, the developer can be asked, can be instructed by the COB to deposit more money into the account. Okay. So so the account, the use of the account is only to repair common property. Again, the why I stress this is because I do not want you to mistake that this account can be used to repair the parcels and any complaints made by the parcel owners for repairs within the parcel. That comes under another law for residential strata, that comes under the HDA, Housing Development Act, okay, the Schedule G, Schedule H, yeah. For commercial, it depends on the what they call the SMP lah, the sale purchase agreement between the developer and the buyer, okay, regarding the defect liability period. Okay. Power to investigate the commission of any offence under SMA, investigative power. So if I say investigation, okay, that means police lah, policing power. The power of the COB is comparable to the police. Under Section 125 SMA, the COB may authorize in writing any officer of the local authority or public officer to exercise the powers of enforcement under SMA. Okay? The power given to the person is similar to a police officer in terms of search and seizure with warrant or without warrant. Okay, for emergency cases, in cases such as there's a sense of urgency, maknanya dia kena cepat, yeah, sense of urgency in conducting investigation or obtaining evidence. The COB may feel that the wrongdoer, the management body, the person or management body will destroy the evidence. They can, without warrant, go into the management office, for instance, kan, and seize maknanya merampas, seize all the records, all the relevant documents to assist in the investigation. So not just that, there's something that I don't put here. Something that I don't put here is, as a police, they can call any persons to be investigated. They can serve a notice to a person to appear before them. Appear before them means the person must come to the COB office, come to the office, and then the COB may conduct an interrogation, examination lah, verbal examination, tanya dia soalan, macam polis. So the next power, or the last power, I said here power to appoint managing agent. No, roles and responsibilities. So I shall, betulkan, I shall amend the title of this slide. It's supposed to be roles and power. Anyway, the last one, compounding of offences. Under section 135 SMA, the COB can compound any offence committed by any person under SMA and SMR. Compound means tulis saman lah, menyaman. Compound. COB can issue a compound notice if paid within stipulated time, an amount of not more than 50% of the maximum fine, and if not paid, the offender can be prosecuted. Bolehlah didakwa di mahkamah. Okay, so in the compound notice, it will state the kesalahan, the breach or the offence, and then the action or the fine that needs to, not action, the fine that needs to be paid. Okay, so if paid within time, okay, a discount can be given. It's like your typical traffic summons lah kan, traffic compound or traffic saman, whereby the police can give you discounts kan, 50% discount if paid within certain time, within 14 days of the summons of the compound notice lah. So if you pay, you can get discount, but if you don't pay, you may be prosecuted. Okay, so this is the end of the lecture. Okay. Thank you for listening. So if you have any questions, okay, you can further ask me on WhatsApp. Okay, bye-bye. Happy learning, happy studying.